Yeah, let's do this, bitches. Let's go. So if I understand you correctly, you mean how long it took me to basically start making $50 a day as my target, right? Consistently. Yeah, so there's a funny story to that. It took me about 5 months to start making $50 and feel confident that I would do it. And that was my target, and I was hitting it like that. Crazy. But what happened was, even though I was making $50 a day, I still kept my job. I was so scared of quitting because now with $50 a day, it meant that I was making more money through trading than doing what I was doing in the job. But I couldn't quit because it felt like this trading thing is just gonna go away. I felt like I was cheating. Keep in mind, I had worked all my life at that point. Working for money is all I understood. So it felt like this trading thing was just like a glitch in the matrix, and then it would just disappear. Until a year later, I was like, come on, man, like why do I have to show up at my job every day? I know I'm making less money, and all night I was trading. Then I go to work, I'm just like dozing off the whole day like this, drinking 6 coffees a day just so that I can look normal, that okay, this person is here. I remember even sometimes I would go to the bathroom of the office for like 30 minutes just to doze off a little bit, to sleep literally. I would go to the bathroom to sleep a little bit, to take a nap, I would sit on the toilet seat like this and doze off for like 30 minutes, and then I would get out because I was living a miserable life. I'll finish trading at like 3 to 4 a.m. and then I have to wake up at 8 for work in the morning. I was living a really, really miserable life. And then a year later, I was like, come on, man, I'm making money. Like I'm making 4 times what I was earning at work. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit this thing and I'm just gonna go all in on crypto. And then also my income started growing. And then the next thing you know, it's $100 a day, $400 a day. And then when you reach to those high numbers, your style of trading changes. A lot of people think that you keep doing the same thing. Like if you're trading and your daily target is $100 a day, for example, right? You are mostly trading with a small amount of capital. And over time, when you start making more money, your capital is growing, but also let's say your lifestyle changes and you need to expand. $100 is not it's not cutting off anymore, right? You live in hotels all the time and all that kind of stuff, and you need maybe $500 minimum to survive. Now, if you're going to be doing the same thing you were doing to make $50, you use the same strategies to make $500 a day, you're basically going to blow your account. So eventually, if you're smart as a trader, you change your strategy. Instead of being based on a pure target, like I want to make $6,000 a day or I want to make $500 a day, your target becomes a percentage. You open a trade with 100,000, your target is basically to make 1%, 3%, whatever, right? And that becomes a lot more manageable than going in there and say, look, if I could make $50 from a $300 worth of capital, it means that for the $100,000, I should be able to make $5,000 or $6,000 a day. You're gonna get over leveraged, and then that's how traders basically lose or blow their account. Not many people really realize that if you're trading and you're making $100 a day, you're making $3,000 at the end of the month. Maybe a little bit higher or lower sometimes, but that is your target realistically. And you don't need a lot of money to make that kind of profit per day, right? Like you need $200 to $500 to be able to do that. With leverage, you can make that kind of money. I've demonstrated this on my YouTube channel many times where I literally open a trade with $200 in capital and I would make $400 from it. I would make $500 from it. I would make more, or I would make a little bit less. But the thing is, it's very difficult for yourself to set realistic standards and try to be satisfied with a specific number that is achievable. So I have done this myself. When I was aiming to make $50 a day, that was my target. I would keep consistent with my strategy. Every time I keep on my strategy, I would make the profit that I want. But I do that 3 times, the $50 didn't feel like anything at all. I wanted more. And then you start going rogue, and then the next thing you know, you got liquidated, you blow your account. Until I realized that, okay, look, the trick here is about not being greedy. That's literally all it is. Every trader out there will tell you that they'll lose at least for me, right? Every single time that I've lost a lot of money trading, it was in a trade where I was winning. I was making money, and then I became cocky. I was like, oh, I don't want to close it. Let me just skip to it. I can make a little bit more. And then things change direction, and then you don't want to close because you're like, okay, look, I was at $3,000 profit. Now I'm like, what, 1,000? Okay, at least 2,000. I'll wait until it go back up a little bit to 2K, and then I'll close it. And then it goes to $500 profit, and then you're like, oh shit, okay. Do I close it right now? No, I was making money. Now I've lost 2K. Come on, I'll just wait. And then boom, you get stop loss or you get liquidated. I've seen these movies so many times that I don't allow myself to go through it anymore, because the moment I make one stupid trade, it basically gives birth to many stupid mistakes, because I'm revenge trading. I want to make my money back. So trading is basically, it's good philosophy for your mind. It's basically just you and your own thoughts and the market that is never constant, right? It's always up and down, moving all the time. You know what you need to do, but can you control your mind enough to be able to execute on what you're supposed to do? The strategy, the discipline, the stop loss, or your own mind is going to get control of you and let excitement cloud your judgment, or disappointment cloud your judgment. Both are basically the same. In trading, making money and losing are exactly the same thing. I've seen this so many times. Whether you get so excited because you made so much money, it can result in losing even more money because you get cocky and you think you're smart and you can make more. And when you lose money, it's exactly the same as well, because you're now angry, you're vengeful, you want to make it all back. Now, if you open a $50,000 position and you lose 30,000 from it, you're like, oh, okay, flip. Now, for me to make a 30K quick, to basically make my loss back, I have to trade with 100 to 200K so that I can just make it back and quickly. If I use another 50K, it's going to take me forever to make it back. So, and then you get into the cycle where you're revenge trading and you lose more money. So you basically just have to watch yourself and have that discipline to not do stupid things. Oh, so you want to know my 10 best crypto trade? Okay, yeah, that is a very interesting question. So I think the very first one, it has to be Bitcoin itself, because look, man, I got into Bitcoin when it was worth a pair of shoes, when I was accumulating those coins, and now you can tell that it's worth a lot of money. The second one is Ethereum. I got into it early. And the third one is BNB. I invested in BNB when it was only worth $3. My first purchase was $3, and then I started aping in around like $7 and then $15 and on and on. So that was really good. And then another one is Render token. I made a YouTube video about it before it even launched, I believe. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube, you can check it out. Now it's worth $2 per coin, and anyone who invested at that time when I was talking about it, which was 2018, 2019, they made so much money from it. I also did. And then another token that made me so much money is Dogecoin. Actually, I made quite a lot of money in Dogecoin. If you look at my older YouTube videos, I used to give away Dogecoin for free, like lots of it. I did calculation the other day. I gave away a total of $300,000 worth of Dogecoin. So I used to have a lot of Dogecoin, and what started happening was whenever it pumps extreme, because when, you know, during those days, Dogecoin wasn't really a serious coin. It was like the thing that if you convince your friend to get into crypto, you would send them Doge as some free coin. It's not worth anything, but they learn how to create a wallet to receive some crypto and to send it. So Dogecoin was literally for that. It was like the cheapest coin you can buy to just play around. And then it became a real thing somehow, and I ended up selling almost all of it. I don't hold so much Doge anymore, but yeah, Doge was a good trade. It's a lot, man. So the other trades are just in between. They're not necessarily on a specific coin. They're like BTC, USDT trades. But my favorite trades, that is still my favorite to this day, was, I think, what pair was this? Besides, there's the BTC USDT trade that I made a lot of money on, but there was also a specific altcoin play that I made. That was on Dodo. Yes, it was Dodo. And also, I made a trade on Alice, my neighbor Alice. I made so much money on that one. A lot of my subscribers know me for that trade because, yeah, that video blew up as well when I did the Alice trade. Printed quite a bit on that. And I remember there was a time that I made a trade at the airport, a BTC USDT trade, high leverage. I jumped on the plane and I was supposed to set up a stop loss, but before I basically boarded the plane, I was like, okay, look, I need to go now. I closed the laptop, but I opened the position, but I didn't have enough time to set a stop loss, and then it bugged me all the way throughout the flight. I was like, oh man, by the time I land, I'm more likely liquidated. Looking at the volatility of the market right now and what's happening, I couldn't. And this airplane has no Wi-Fi. I was like, what the hell? Because I was like, okay, I'll do it when I'm flying, and I realized there's no Wi-Fi. So I was just praying that by the time I arrive, I don't mind if I break even or I just lose maybe 3 to 5%. I don't want to get liquidated. There's no stop loss. And by the time I was landing, I think I was flying to Eastern Europe somewhere. By the time I landed, the first thing I checked was my position, and I was in $48,000 profit on a trade because the coin went berserk and I made so much money. Unbelievable. It's that, but that could have also happened on the opposite direction, right? So that is luck. It happens sometimes. You wouldn't really want to call yourself a genius for it. And to be honest, to me, those are my favorite trades. When I forgot some coins on some wallet that I don't use anymore, and then the next time you check it out, you have like 80K in it. Or you open a stupid trade and it actually just worked out somehow. They feel so effortless, and because they're so careless, they're so degenerate, and then you make money. It gives you a casino vibe, which is very difficult as a serious trader when you're basically implementing all the discipline and the technical analysis that you're supposed to do when you're opening positions.